When I was writing my book, White Fear, one of the things that immediately jumped out in terms of how I framed this whole deal is the literal white nationalism, the white racism of Fox News. Ever since Fox News was created by Roger Ailes, it was designed to appeal to the racial buttons of white America. It has always been about the white outrage. That's why they have targeted African Americans, target Latinos. That's why every time they need their ratings boosted, they'll conjure up a caravan coming to the southern border. That's their entire deal. And so when they decided to oppose, if you will, or speak truthfully about the election with Donald Trump, he began to attack them, and One America News and Newsmax's ratings began to increase. And so they began to lose numbers. And so they freaked out and said, well, let's double down on Donald Trump, double down on election lying. That's why Dominion is suing them. And so they've even allowed Tucker Carlson, who is nothing but a trust fund baby, born with 2 silver spoons in his mouth, to all of a sudden create this whole notion that he is a populist and he cares about the working class man and woman, when really, if you listen to his show or watch his show, he is nothing but a white nationalist who's spewing hatred against people of color, and that's why his show is the highest rated one on cable news. He is all about white grievance. He's all about, oh my goodness, the white people, it's all ending for us. He is the epitome of my book, White Fear, how the browning of America is making white folks lose their minds. That's who Tucker Carlson is. And so this week, a couple of nights ago, he decided to take aim at Ann Reid and specifically Tiffany Cross, 2 sisters with shows on MSNBC. If you want to see this level of nastiness, hatred, and bigotry, just watch this.
Have you watched MSNBC lately? Likely you haven't. Like the Tootsies, you're not the target audience, but you should tune in sometime. It's remarkable. Given that opposing racism is America's national religion, it may surprise you to learn that open race hate forms much of the substance of that channel's programming. And when we say race hate, we're not referring to the subtle coded variety. You want border security? You giving your kids piano lessons? You like Shakespeare? You believe in the SAT? You must be a racist. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the kind of race hate you cannot mistake for anything else, the kind where people just come out and announce, I hate this race of people, and here's why I do. It's hard to believe that anything like that is happening right now on American television, but it is, out in the open. And the most amazing and the most creepy part of all is that no one is saying anything about it. It's all but ignored. And honestly, we had no idea it was going on either until we started getting texts from people. Are you watching this? Can you believe this? So we tuned in. Apparently on the left, what you're about to see is considered completely normal, even good. And that should worry you deeply. You don't want to live in Rwanda. But on MSNBC, they're already there. Now, you probably knew about Joy Reid, the race lady, who's been fixated on race hate for years now. But MSNBC has a new host, someone called Tiffany Cross, who hosts a show called The Cross Connection. Here's a selection.
Many of us have seen the dangers when powerful white people decide they want something, they annex it. And they've never had a problem replacing the people who stand in their way.
We see American white people are going crazy. They're resorting to violence.
This is literally what conservative white folks do when they don't get their way. They turn violent.
White people deputizing themselves in some position of authority to have jurisdiction over their life when they need to mind their blanking business.
I don't think it's our responsibility to be tasked with destroying and dismantling the racial oppression that's against us. That's just saying we're more at fault than the white people who constructed this system and the white people who continue to practice institutional racism.
A majority of white people do not support policies that would unpack and unroll and reform this system of justice. This is what they want. Matt Gaetz is giving the white folks what they want.
white replacement can strangle culture. So yes, we should all be concerned about white replacement. It is, after all, a very threat to our survival here.
Is there anything worse than white people? They're violent, they're heartless, they're cruel, they're deranged, they're secretive, they're dishonest. In fact, as you just heard Tiffany Cross say, white people are a mortal danger to you and your loved ones. They threaten your life. Are they poisoning the wells? Are they baking bread with the blood of your children? If not, according to Tiffany Cross and MSNBC, they're fully capable of doing those things. They've certainly done worse. This is Hutu Radio. But it's not an independent radio station in an African country. It's part of one of the biggest news organizations in the world. Part of the... So it's not just whites, it's white women. Their women are bad too. And women, of course, are the key to reproducing the white race, which is clearly a threat, as she says again and again, to you and your family. They're dangerous. They want to hurt you. Now, don't be fooled by the fact that Tiffany Cross can barely speak a coherent sentence. She was a communications major, apparently, according to the internet. That didn't work.
So what do we do here? So you see how Tucker Carlson tries to, we start getting text messages. And do you see what they're saying? Folks, we have watched Fox News for years. We have watched as they have attacked black rappers and other groups, how Glenn Beck, when he was there, talked about how Obama hated white people. We've seen how that was the strategy. We've actually heard from people who used to work at Fox News talk about how their strategy absolutely is about appealing to the issue of race and driving this issue. This is what we have seen repeatedly. And so it's no shock they're doing this. I told y'all in my book, White Fear, that the whole point is, oh my goodness, how dare we? With the real anger of the Tucker Carlsons of the world, and Megyn Kelly, of course, the former right-wing zealot at Fox News who took a shot at Tiffany Cross as well, what they cannot stand is that we now have a voice. See, what bothers them, what bothers a Tucker, what bothers all of them, and in fact, Megyn Kelly even tried to say Tiffany Cross had a failed show, which I was very surprised by, because Tiffany actually has the highest rated show on MSNBC on the weekends. Megyn is the one who got paid $69 million to leave because she failed. Her show sucked at NBC. She didn't even last 2 years. And so what you have here are folks who literally cannot stand the fact that we are now hosting shows. We now get to give opinions. We now get to actually share our thoughts. See, I warned y'all back in 2009 this was going to happen. I told you as we move closer to 2043, you're going to see the vitriol increase, because it is a part of their rage machine to amp up their white conservative viewers to go, look at them, how dare they? Look at what they are dare saying, what's going on. We can roll the tape, and we literally do not have enough hours in the day to show you the kind of vitriol that we have heard come from Fox News since its inception, with its targeting of black and Latino people. Tucker Carlson is about driving the white outrage, which drives the cash registers at Fox News. There is profit in white rage. He is their leading prophet. That's who he is. And so when you understand that, then how do you counter that? For some reason, I've yet to see, and maybe y'all can let me know in the control room, I've yet to see a forceful reaction from MSNBC or NBC regarding the attacks on their host, Ann Reid, Tiffany Cross. Now, Fox News, one of the things that they always did, they employed a very aggressive PR team. They pushed back hard when folks attacked Sean Hannity or Bill O'Reilly or Megyn Kelly. I don't understand why MSNBC and NBC is so quiet. Why they are unwilling to engage. See, I'll deposit this. And let me just help y'all out. One of the biggest problems, y'all, with progressives is they're scared to fight. See, we don't want to do that. That's just not how we do things over here. See, Fox News will viciously attack, and they will have all of their shows attack progressives. Oh no, we don't want to engage. See, that's why when that right-wing zealot Mark Levin 3 weeks ago on his radio show attacked me and said Roland Martin will never invite me on his show, I did that night. It's been 3 weeks. He hasn't responded. See, I'm not willing to fight anybody on the right. Sean Hannity, I ain't scared of you. He's been running from me for a decade. Bill O'Reilly, running. Tucker Carlson, running. Laura Ingraham, running. Take your pick, all of them. Lincoln Kennedy over there, running. Greg Gutfeld, running. All of them, running. Lou Dawes, I did a show at CNN. We got the Fox News, Fox Business, running. Janine Pirro, running. Because see, they love talking trash, but they don't want to do it in front of you because they can't handle that heat coming back. And so, if Republicans win the House and the Senate in November, we're going to need Ann Reid, but especially Tiffany Cross. We're going to need people who are on air, who are unafraid to fight. See, when it's time to fight, you don't bring soft people to a fight. What's the song? Michael? Knuck or Buck? Is that the song?
Knuck if you buck.
Knuck if you buck.
Knuck if you buck. Yep.
MSNBC execs, NBC execs, y'all need to get some knuck or buck. Y'all need to wake up and understand what is going on here, because this thing is not going to get for the better. You got to have some folks who are willing to throw down and willing to fight, willing to swing. And I dare say, and let me be real clear, I'm not doing this commentary because I get invited on Tiffany's show. I'm doing it because I understand what is at stake. I understand democracy. I understand that we've got to have folks who are willing to fight, willing to engage, willing to do battle. There's a great story in the Bible of one of David's mighty men, and there was a field of lentils, and the people of Israel were like, man, look, that's a field of lentils. We gonna get that thing up. We ain't fighting over that. But there was a certain man named Shema. And Shema said, no, if God gave us this land, I'm fighting over it. And stood there and fought with both hands. Slayed them with both hands over a field of lentils. We've got to have modern day Shemas, men and women who are willing to go hard at Fox News, at Tucker Carlson, at white supremacy, at these domestic terrorists in this country. And we need folks who are modern day Shemas, who are men and women who are black, who are white, who are Latino, who are Native American, who are Asian. Because when you say this is a fight for the soul of democracy, now what this is about is now the redefinition of America and becoming a more perfect union. And folk like Tucker and Fox News wants us to continue to be what we've always been. Now, this is game on. And we need warriors like Tiffany Cross on the battlefield We got enough people on the sidelines watching. We need folk who are ready to swing, and her bosses and her network should have her back. Period. Real quick, thoughts from our panel before I go to my education segment. I'll start with you, Matt.
I think you're right. I think we shouldn't be surprised that a paleo conservative who is often saying off the wall things did it again, particularly because we know he espouses great replacement theory. I mean, this is Tucker Carlson's forte. This is what Fox News leverages for the people that watch it. And you said it, profit is the motive. So I think you're 100% right. I think we need those people, and I think those people to fight. And I think the Democratic Party, to your point, we talk about it every week. They not only don't fight effectively, but they don't fight voraciously, and they don't fight for keeps. Republicans tell us at every turn what they're doing, what their plans are, and they fight no holds barred. And Democrats need to do the same thing.
Nola?
This is definitely it touches me personally as a guest on, Tiffany's show, and her professionalism and the important voice that she is for everyone in this country and beyond, but especially for Black women. I know what it feels like to have a powerful white man to try to tarnish your reputation. And I know what it feels like for, these sorts of attacks, not in such a public sphere like this, but I do know what it feels like to have a colleague try to tarnish your professional image. And the dangerous part is that as Black people, we are raised with this idea that we have to be 10 times better. And I would posit as a Black woman, let's multiply that by 3. So we have to always be mindful of our professionalism, how we present. And then we also have to always be mindful of our responses because, we have to work in these environments where, people have the trope of the angry Black woman. And so we always have to negotiate just how far we want to take it, how much of our authenticity we actually want to show up with. So, Tiffany has this platform, Joy Reid has her platform, where they can speak an uncomfortable truth. And that's really what this is about. These are uncomfortable truths that many people in this country are trying to put bows on it and wrap it up and new kind of wrapping paper to present it as something else. And the thing about it is this, trying to, put these women in a light that sheds them as angry Black women. And I'm sure the trope of, not being smart and trying to come at Tiffany saying that, her show is failing when that is not the truth at all. But it's not about the truth. And certain platforms have nothing to do with the truth. It's all about painting a picture and holding up a familiar target, and people believing that. And so my issue is, I hope they are safe. At the very least, I hope that they are being provided some level of security because this has definitely endangered their well-beings in a way that just isn't fair. And that's not how it should be in a democracy like the United States. And it's not how it should be when you at work amongst colleagues. So I just hope that they are safe.
Michael.
Well, this is more white supremacy coming from what I call coup plotter TV or white nationalist TV. And, Tucker Carlson is the golden child over there like Bill O'Reilly was. And it was the sexual harassment scandal, but the boycotts from from a number of different civil rights organizations that work together to get 80 advertisers to divest from Bill O'Reilly's TV show, The O'Reilly Factor. And it got to the point where that show was not profitable and they canceled his show. I've said before, we need to go after Tucker Carlson's or Tuckums, as Joy Ann Reid calls them, go after his advertisers. And at the same time, we really have to understand this is somebody who embraces authoritarianism. He embraces Viktor Orban, Hungary. He did a documentary of Viktor Orban. This is somebody who did that interview with Kanye West, and there were excerpts of the interview that were deleted that are being leaked out now as well, and they're pimping Kanye also. The Fox News is extremely dangerous. It's Fox News who really propelled, the media outlet that really propelled the most to the forefront this anti-critical race theory, this fake attack on critical race theory, things like this. So this is extremely dangerous, especially in a midterm election year. So I watch Ann Reid and Tiffany Cross as well. Hopefully they're safe, but we definitely need to fight back against white supremacists like little Tuckums.
Indeed. So, and let me be real clear, y'all. MSNBC don't pay me. NBC don't pay me. I own this show. I control this show. And the bottom line is, if somebody's going to come after your people, you defend your folk, especially under that kind of vicious attack. The ADL, pull the tweet up, please. There was a response I saw. This will be the last comment. ADL, Tucker Carlson, has again used his platform to stoke racial tensions, falsely and dangerously accusing a black MSNBC host of instigating a genocide against white people. His incitement and the trivialization of the Rwandan genocide must be forcibly condemned. I have not seen a tweet from MSNBC or NBC. That makes no sense to me. All right, folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment.
Welcome to Atlanta, one of the most expensive housing markets in America. But rather than help out, Brian Kemp cashed in. He made hundreds of thousands of dollars in real estate. His net worth skyrocketed. And while Atlantans struggled to stay in their homes, Kemp gave $10,000 tax handouts to the richest Georgians and a nearly $700 million no-bid contract to his campaign donor. Brian Kickback Kemp, making Georgia work for him, not you.
Folks, Black Star Network is here.
Oh, no punches! I'm real revolutionary right now.
Support this man, Black Media. He makes sure that our stories are told.
Thank you for being the voice of Black America, Roland.
Stay black. I love y'all.
All momentum we have now, we have to keep this going.
The video looks phenomenal.
See, this difference between Black Star Network and black-owned media and something like CNN.
You can't be black-owned media and be scared.
It's time to be smart.
Bring your eyeballs home.
You dig?